Wild mechs
Wild
in the
mechs.
Western sex. Trying to get that down. I don't understand how like nobody has ever like done that before. The idea of like actual spaghetti Western mechs fighting.
Well,
Can you imagine a mech fucking like?
Well, because you always get some form of the opposite, where like a lot of sci-fi and like space stuff is influenced by like westerns,
Right.
But you never get the reverse, unless it's like cowboys versus aliens or Wild Arms. Just those two.
Just those two.
Where you get kind of that spacey, futuristic mecha vibe in your spaghetti western.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like there are bounty hunters in space or something like that. Bebop,
Yeah.
Star Wars to a degree, you know.
I guess it's just because like it's hard to kind of create an interesting dynamic around that sole area, and like actually have any sort of reasoning behind that happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just the Wild West is a super cool thing, but there's only two things that ever happened. You either got robbed or killed.
Yeah.
And you think
Now,
like you
imagine.
could go a lot of places with that, but it's just getting robbed and getting killed.
If you were to rob a bank in a mech, although the sheriff mech would be pretty fucking cool.
All right, so the idea of mech bank robberies is now in my head, and I'm upset because it'll never happen.
Nope.
It'll never happen. Now I just want to play a cops and robbers multiplayer Armored Core game.
Yeah, well, again, that show idea.
Hey,
there it is.
There it is.
Disappointing ourselves with things we know will never exist.
Oh,
It's been a hot minute.
Well, could have not another disappointment.
Not an. Are you sure? We'll see. No, it's been a while, but we're back. The comeback tour.
We had a little bit of a break.
It's
been a busy couple of weeks for Maxi Poo and I. You just finished up.
I'm done. I turned in my last assignment today. I will graduate next Friday.
Jesus, free man.
Free man. And that means that I now have to go get a job and work until I die, probably.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else.
Good job. Good job, man.
Yeah, it's been a tough week for this last little project we had to work on, but it's over, and I'll never have to see any of those people again in my life because they're all fucking off to Atlanta, where apparently the job market for film is not that great. So, double whammy, I never have to see them again, and they probably won't succeed.
Oof. Maximum petty.
Yeah. With 2 X's and 2 T's.
Doing it. Literally.
Petty with a no, that didn't work. Anyway.
I'll just say it. Now you served it up. Now you got to tell us what it was.
No, I was going to do a little riff. P-E double T. No. No, it's not there.
We got to catch up.
We got to get back in the groove. How you been? What have you been up to?
Oh yeah, maybe we should.
Because
what you playing? What you doing? I haven't been doing shit other than what we've been doing. If we're talking about like well, I have stuff I could say for the playing for all that shit, but I meant like in terms of what we've actually been doing. We haven't been able to stream as much either, which is also kind of a pain, and it's just mainly because I got hit with a lot of shit that is finally like calming down. Mm-hmm. But once again, it's going to ramp up in August. I think for like up until the end of September is when I'll finally be able to sit down and dedicate time towards really just the streaming side of it. But on the offhand, after talking with Lyle, and you guys know me, one of my biggest problems with writing anything is the fact of I don't know where to frame it. I don't know how exactly, because I'm all over the place with some shit. He gave me a sense of direction for that Detroit review that I was showing him, and he pretty much said, well, this kind of just reads off like one of those video essays everyone's always into. Why don't you just do that instead? And I was like, oh my God, we're going to be a video essay channel. That's it. That's the only way. It's the only thing that makes fucking sense.
Dude,
So the Detroit thing has now kind of escalated more from less into a review and more into me talking about the failures of its storytelling right from the onset and how that kind of plays into, a bunch of shit. It's going to be a fun time. Thanks for the sub there, Rowboat. Is it, or Emperor? I think it's Emperor.
Emperor, yeah. Oh, this is probably the worst dashboard layout I've ever
It's not great.
had.
It's not great at all.
Oh, I've done better. Max has done better. So in the meantime, look forward to probably more Breath of the Wild on here.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. A lot of that was pretty good. People were enjoying that playthrough. I think that's pretty cool. In terms of what I want to do, I do want to get back to Tales of Berseria at some point because we just got to a point. Like last time that I was there was like a month ago. We got to a point in which it was. I got off the first island, and that's about it.
All right.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be finally catching up to where I was on my own playthrough on my own time, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be new for me, too. So it'll be fun time.
A lot of blind stuff.
Blind stuff.
Here.
Just straight up running into walls, smack dab in the middle of darkness.
Speaking of running into the walls in the middle of darkness, we'll probably get back to one of the Resident Evils. I'm not too sure about both, but one of them for sure.
I really want to get back to 2. I do. I'm not going to have time to I was actually suggesting if I was going to be here earlier. Unfortunately, some stuff came up to play it right after stream, but nope. Oh, excuse me.
Nope.
Not the case.
So look forward to that at another point.
I really do feel like if we're going to do anything, we need to hop right back into Resident Evil 6 for sure.
Yeah.
Like that is, you've got the last campaign and it's
Jake time.
I don't say it's the coolest, but it's certainly the most interesting campaign out of all 3 of them.
Okay. Well,
it certainly is the most interesting.
And then the Ada Wong playthrough up in the air right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how we're feeling. I think that pretty much takes care of spring cleaning. I have something that I'm going to start working on now that I own enough now that I feel like I could make a pretty comprehensive video about it. But that goes under what we've been playing and watching and listening to.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll start it off. I have been in a decline of just one mindless MMO after another. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, I have picked up several, and I don't know why, because I don't have time to play any of them, but there's always that part of me that's like, no, I'll get around to it. I'll definitely do something with this. So, Warframe.
Okay.
Dungeon Fighter Online.
Oh, God.
Maple Story 2.
Okay.
Destiny 2 again.
Oh, man.
And WoW.
Oh, man.
So,
enough to count off on one hand.
Yeah, my whole hand is already taken up. We're being
rated by apes.
Apes? Hey, thanks.
It's the Raid of the Apes.
Hello.
I think that's Scruffy. I'm not sure.
Who?
That's
Scruffy. Scruffy, is that your thing?
Yeah, it's it. Hey, Scruffy, thank you for the raid.
Hey, thank you, Scruffy. You're the best.
So yeah, you tell them all about the degenerate shit you've been playing, because I've been playing some degenerate shit too.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, big, massive degeneracy.
Oh,
so,
man.
Specifically, Dungeon Fighter Online just released the Gunblader class. That's super fucking cool. As of right now, he only has 2 of his main, because the way that game works is you have like the character. Because a lot of Korean MMOs do this thing where it's like they have a class, but that class is a set-in-stone character. There's no customization on the look or even like the feel of that character.
Yeah.
But as you level up, you have alternating classes. And each of those classes play extremely differently from one another to the point where they're like, it is wildly different like attacks that actually end up happening, and that's like at level 15 or 16, which is like a 20-minute playthrough. Like you level up so fast, 20 minutes gets you to level the next job essentially. And So there's the secret agent he has a silenced pistol. He switches out just like a regular pistol for a silenced pistol, and he mains katana. And he's a bit more agile, so he's got a lot of crazy kick flip shit that he does with his mechanics.
Okay.
Very cool, and he uses a lot of like just casually like shooting in between combos as well. So he's just like a constant damage output that's just really stylish as fuck. He's flying across the screen, super cool. And then there's I think it's either Hitman, no, it's Troubleshooter. Troubleshooter he switches it out for a shotgun, and his sword is like a Zen Pactil, they call it, which is like it's basically like a fucking giant Buster sword, essentially.
Oh, all right, okay.
And his moves end in like massive explosions. He's more oriented in like range combat.
That's pretty fucking cool.
There's one move he has that is pretty fucking fantastic, which is basically just a shotgun stinger that explodes the entire screen.
Shotgun stingers are good.
Yeah,
like those.
It's a shotgun stinger that's a super hold move. So it's like a fucking grapple move.
Oh, okay.
So it basically, the way it works is like for single target damage, it is insane because you can use it to end a combo and be like, and like you charge it up and then just fire your shotgun into the motherfucker's chest.
God.
It's dope as fuck. I actually like that class a lot more, even though Secret Agent is technically better. There's two more coming out. There's one called Hitman, and there's one called Specialist. Specialist is like an engineer type. He throws like a bunch of robot shit and force field and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's fine. Hitman is just a faster version of Secret Agent, it looks like. So that's pretty cool.
Just keep making it faster.
Yep.
I'll say it right now. I dove into DFO a little bit.
Right. What do you mean?
With Matt.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because it was probably the night after that Denny's. It's like, all right, I guess we're going to play DFO. I'll try it. So I got a gunner to level 15 or so. I just switched jobs or character classes. And I think I went with the whatever the one that was more focused on just shooting kicks. I think it's
Ranger. You went Ranger.
I went Ranger, yeah. Had a pretty good time with it. I think I got equipment like early on from like whatever their like special they were doing there. So I got some free equipment that made it kind of trivial.
Right.
And I'm already not a big fan of beat 'em ups to begin with, so I don't know if I'll continue it, especially because there's no customization.
Right.
But I understand it now, and I understand why people do like it, and it does seem cool.
It's very fun, and when you get into later levels, like with Ranger especially, Ranger has an insane fucking. His whole thing is gun katas. So, like, when you level up more, he does the whole, like, flipping his arms around and, like, doing flips across the stage.
I used a female gunner. I don't know if that changes anything.
Yeah, actually, so that's the other thing, too, is that the genders actively change how each of those classes, like, what their skills are and how they play. To the point where on the PvP tier list, they are actually above one another. For, like, I know when Female Gunner released, Female Engineer was, like, S tier above literally every single motherfucker that was released ever because she was so intrinsically powerful. The same thing, like, which is like it's a weird kind of thing that the Korean MMOs do, but it's also interesting because I've never seen like anyone else do that and like actually offer differences in how characters are played from a gender perspective, which sounds really stupid and exactly like what the Western audience does not want. But in terms of how that, like, I've seen it, like, it could work really well.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting dynamic. But other than that, I mean, every other MMO, I think the one thing that people are going to turn around and ask why about is Destiny 2.
Did they just release that expansion where the Robobot gets killed?
Some Summer has been coming up, right? Summer has had a fuck ton of sales.
Yeah.
One of those people that were doing sales was Blizzard. And Blizzard offered up a sale for the season pass at $8.
All right.
So
I mean, at
like,
that point,
yeah, I was like,
fine.
fuck it. I got on there. I'm having fun with it only because of Rave and everyone's still playing it.
Okay.
And that's the only way that's going to be fun for me because as I've been trying to get into it myself just to grind it up, I once again just got into that mindset of like, this is not fun. I don't like it. But as I was playing with other people, that is certainly a game it is almost necessary to play with other people.
It's an MMO.
Well, sort of. Ish.
It's a multiplayer game. It's a game.
Yeah.
You play with your hands.
And then MMOs finally. Me, Josh, and Alex played a little bit of MapleStory 2.
Yeah.
Me and Josh haven't touched that ever since. Alex has fucked that game up. And has been making rounds in other people's streams so much.
I've seen clips where he stands still and wins matches.
Yeah.
Certain mini games.
Yeah, it's insane. That's fun. My biggest issue with that is the controls.
Yeah.
I really think if you're going to do the isometric top-down thing, you have to allow me to be able to click my character around, because you got to either move with the arrow keys or the WASD.
Yeah.
And since those don't really do well for diagonal directions on isometric kind of game.
Yeah. It's a weird switch.
Yeah.
To go to weird.
From side scroller to fucking isometric Minecraft video game.
Minecraft Rumble Fighter ass. Get amped playing Lost Sagas similar. Yeah, it's every time I look at that game, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of one of those games.
Real degenerate hours, boys.
I like Lost Saga. Rave got me to play that for a while. I liked it more than Get Amped.
I did like it more than Get Amped.
And it gave us female soul bad guy, Ragnar the Blood Edge, and female Iori.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those are all pretty solid choices. Other than that, what I've been watching, of course, not anime. Let's be honest.
That's cool.
But I have been kind of getting more into YouTubers a lot. I discovered this guy named James Lee. James Lee Animation. Have you seen him?
Maybe.
He's making the rounds right now.
Is he the one who did that the character select for Super Smash Brothers?
I don't remember.
He has the simpler. I don't want to say simple, but
no, his is definitely not simple when you see it. It's
not who I'm thinking of.
It's almost like his recent videos, he has sort of framed it in a way to where it's almost like what I would see a real life Invader Zim thing would look like.
Okay.
He incorporates his animations with himself in the real world, but the way that he frames him as a character, he looks like he's direct, like he fits. It's insane. Like it is. I'll show you a screen of it while we're talking about it. James Lee Animation. He also seems to be one of those kinds of guys that is. Believe it or not, I found him because not only did someone like an animator I saw posted it up, but he did the cutscenes, the 2D cutscenes for Barack Fu, the DLC for the new Shaq Fu game. Let me turn this down.
Shaq Fu looks like garbage, but for whatever reason, the animations are ridiculously good.
Right. So you see, you guys are not going to be able to see it. Well, maybe we'll post a video of it.
Yeah.
But it's him in real life, and he's essentially animated everything about him. And the way he acts and the way he edits the video, he makes all of his actions look incredibly cartoonish.
Yeah, that's really weird and cool.
That's super fucking cool.
That's
and stylized
music video shit.
Yeah, I've never seen that before, and it's the coolest shit. And the only thing but you see what I'm talking about when it's it almost looks and feels like Invader Zim a little bit.
Yeah,
it has that kind of really harsh, super stylized. You're not going to see this anywhere kind of approach.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. And then I can't pronounce the fucking YouTube name, but I guess I was watching the Dude Soup podcast with Funhouse. Those guys are great, and they were talking about Down the Rabbit Hole. I've never heard of Down the Rabbit Hole, and I finally looked it up. It is a web series that goes over old internet legends.
Okay.
Not like creepypastas, not like that. Like old real-life internet legends. The one they just recently did was the Dark Tale of the Final Fantasy VII house. I'm not sure if you've heard of that one.
I have not. Sounds spooky.
It is a terrifying... It deals with otherkin, people believing that they were Hojo, Genova, and Zack, abusive relationships, stealing. It's a crazy story.
Oh my god.
It's a super crazy story. Otherkin, I didn't know, refer to themselves as like the dopest shit ever, soul bonders.
I mean,
that sounds cool as fuck, but it's not.
No, if you're gonna be that diluted, you might as well like do it sick, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like an Otherkin. You're like, yeah, I'm like a Black & Decker microwave, you know, man.
I soul bonded to this fucking blender.
Oh man, I had to do a soul transfusion.
Elemental transfer
into my Dirt Devil vacuum cleaner. Oh my god, my Toyota Corolla.
When people feel like they're a part of the machine, I really am a part of the machine.
But it's super weird when you take that a step further, and it's like a man-made property. Like it's like being like I'm Zach. That's me.
Right?
That's the way it was. It's like that was within like the last 20 years. You're not Zach.
Yeah. so
you might be Cloud.
We gotta watch this fucking video right afterwards. It's a fucking ride. But the way he basically, this guy came out and he was like, "Look, I was into some weird shit when I was younger, back in the early 2000s. Here's what happened. I met these people online, and one thing led to another, and they ended up telling me like, hey, do you know about soul bonding and all this shit and or parallel universes?" And this fucking person he was talking to ended up suggesting to him that he was Zack from the game Final Fantasy VII. And I remember, mind you, at this time, there was no like Advent Children, there was nothing, there was no like actual characterization of Zack. Yeah. So the only thing we had was like the 6 or 7 lines he has in that game. And this person fed into the OP's like idea of like, well, you're born in the country, you've got all these like traits that you guys share similarly, and like he started believing it.
It's like, yeah, you both were trained for soldier,
And it got to a point where like people would come to the house, and another person was soul bonded as Aerith, and the Genova tried to get Aerith and Zack to fuck, to like cement that relationship, but apparently Sid kept showing up, and Sid was the only one that he said had a foot in reality. So Sid was always there to like be an asshole to everyone and to kind of snap them out. It was insane. It's the craziest story.
I know that I'm super interested in, because like it's every time I think like meeting people that you've met online nowadays is generally not as I feel not as scary or weird as it used to be, because it's so easy to just like...
Well, because anonymity was a huge thing back then. Like, there was like the idea of you have this username, and now our usernames are our real names.
Yeah.
Max, double X, Phil's here. Phil, like, there's no such thing as like...
And to a degree where it's like... Really, it's like I'm pretty sure most people know my last name's Melanson at this point. Like it... And that's because the personalities are the people now.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of the goal. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I'm sure scary shit like that still happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, you think about the horror stories you hear about from a lot of like the Homestuck or like fucking the Undertale fandom.
Homestuck.
Like
Holy
the fucking
shit.
you weren't around for this one, but I remember me and my friends they're trying to coax me into just seeing what was going to happen, because there was an Undertale orgy being set up at a gazebo by MegaCon.
You can't do that at a gazebo. That's an outdoor gathering area. People got married there.
Right. And it's like...
Now Frisk is going to fuck a skeleton? That's not cool.
Dick deep?
Tracy and Daniel are getting married there. They're renewing their vows there next week.
You want to know why they call me Frisk? Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Not really.
Damn, next week on Down the Rabbit Hole. Oh, man. Soul bonding. Man.
That was really cool. Other than that, just the old people I've always followed forever and a day. Music, actually, I have a couple of artists that I've been really into. I'm not going to spend as much time as them. Savant. I don't know if you ever heard of Savant. I don't know if I ever introduced you to Savant. He is actually he refers to himself as an autistic savant because he has autism.
Okay.
And his whole thing is that he doesn't stop making music. Like, that's his, like, thing. And he has created over, like, several albums in the span of a year. And I finally, like, refound him again because he's very, like, dance music heavy. But a lot of his dance music uses things like medieval fucking song structure. It's insane.
What?
There's this one song that he has on an album called Zion that is like, it takes a lot of heavy Arabic and religious influences. So it's like all around the world, like culturally, he goes to those music and he creates something from it. And there's one song called Mecca that is really fucking cool.
That sounds cool.
And it's dope as fuck. Found this crazy. It's just a dude who calls himself Slav, and it's
you were saying that.
Yeah. Slav Squat Session number 6. Look that up on YouTube and just take a ride. You will go it's like, I don't want to say vaporwave. It's almost like a more intense version of like artsy music, or the people, like a lot of the future funk shit that you hear about. It's more kind of in tune with that era and that kind of genre of music. Mm-hmm. Super fun to listen to. Atlas is a Mousetrap artist. Mousetrap is the label that Deadmau5 is in charge of.
Okay, yeah.
Atlas and Iku and Lunar are basically 3 artists that I've been listening to. Very cool stuff. Atlas specifically, the song that I've gotten reintroduced me to him was Concussion. Mm-hmm. Very fun song. And then Yona was something that Mr. Anthony Fantino of Needle Drop fame introduced to me. Yona is an incredibly weird project. Let me pull up what it is real quick. Yona is an an auxiliary human that writes lyrics and melodies and performs it in collaboration with human producer Ash Kusha. It is an AI that is trained to write music, and the human producer just produces the beats for it. And the song Art and Law is really cool and fucking weird.
So with the AI produces like the melody for it, or the
Okay. Yeah, so basically it's unlike like a Vocaloid where it's essentially just a VST that you use.
It's an instrument, yeah.
Yeah, it is like if the Vocaloid actually wrote the music.
So it can sing?
Yeah. It can, quote unquote, it can sing.
So yeah. Yeah.
I'll show you that. It's a very like super weird kind of music, but I love weird shit. I'm super hipsters on purpose. Like that's the whole thing. Like I love that weird shit, but like Art and Law is really cool.
Yeah, it seems cool.
AI
are going to steal. They're going to steal.
They're going to do it. Detroit did it. Detroit done said the thing.
80% unemployment.
40%, and it's still fucking look. Just small spoiler for the video. That is a huge point in that contention in the video where I say there is no fathomable way that American society would subsist. Do you know how fucking high the unemployment rate has been for us?
It was 27%.
25% in the Great Depression. 40%? Okay, sure. Account for inflation and the population increase. Fine. What? Almost half the fucking workforce is dead? Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, because the robots do it. Wait, if their robot does a job, does the owner make the money off the robot?
No!
Nobody makes the money.
Nobody makes the money except the corporation. That's why it's a huge problem.
Oh, shit.
That's why it's like, why the fuck do I care about this robot? It stole my job!
I'm glad Marcus got pushed over in the
Fuck
streets
him!
now. Yeah.
Fuck Marcus! Connor's still cool.
I'm sure that's Connor's the best.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Jeez.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
All right. I'll start with what I've been listening to because let me tell you, it hasn't been much, but it's been a big one. The Megalobox soundtrack's out. 60 songs.
No
fucking
shit.
Good. Yeah, more songs than I thought because they also have like instrumental versions of all the raps. It's pretty fucking good. In terms of what I've been watching, didn't get a chance to talk about what I watched last season, but I have talked about it on stream before, so I'll just very quickly go through it. Megalobox was fantastic. It didn't end how I thought it would at all, which was amazing and really cool, and it was great. Show that did end pretty much exactly how I thought, but I still like the ride. Gun Gale was fun. That's it.
Yeah,
I
heard
ride.
I heard it got real, like, actually better, and a lot of people have turned around and said, like, this is the sword art that should have been.
There's a lot of very likable characters in that show, and they stay likable throughout the whole thing. Hina Matsuri was a fantastic comedy. I don't know if that or Megalobox is my show of the season. I honestly can't decide because they're so radically different. I watched Darling in the Franxx.
So did we talk about
it crash,
that?
It explode?
Did we talk about that at all? Because I finally, I went into that with absolutely no context, and seeing that
saw the last bit,
seeing that fucking thing happen, I was like, okay, this has to have some relevance. And then Mother's Basement said no.
So there are 24 episodes in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Space is introduced in episode 22.
Oh.
The main villain is introduced in episode 21.
It went full Kill la Kill. It feels like
it went full Gynax. Do you remember Gynax? Do you remember Trigger shows?
Dude.
If you watch up until like, there's a specific point you can get to in the series. You can stop watching, and it's an enjoyable series up till that point. Or you can keep watching and stay on the roller coaster. I still thought it was fun, but I cared significantly less, and that was pretty disappointing.
That sucks.
Because again, it felt like it had something. It's like, nope, they just pilot the robots by fucking. I guess that really was all it ever was.
It's really confusing because it feels like that, like, a lot of these really incredibly popular animes always crash and burn. They never know how to end it. Never understand it. That's why One Piece is doing so well, because he just doesn't end it.
It doesn't have to end.
It doesn't have to end.
Gintama never has to end. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is actually Gintama's final season, but they've had
that'll be an end of an era.
700 episodes. So like,
which I'd love to watch Gintama because just the few things that I have seen, it genuinely looks funny.
Yeah.
The stupid thing where he's hanging on the dude's, like, the multiple dicks hanging out of the fucking canopy. It's like, this old guy's hard as fuck.
And just anytime it's censored, it's always because they're violating copyright. Like, I'd love to watch it. People said it's definitely worth watching, but it takes like a long time to set up all the reoccurring characters, and it's like 70 episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm not I'm not too great at long-running like shonen series. I hopped on My Hero at the start, so I'm going to keep watching this one, although since the last season ended, I haven't watched fucking anything. I have my list. I will quickly read off some notable ones.
Oh boy, here we go.
Just so I'll report back as we go and what drops off, as I usually do. There are 12 across 3 different streaming platforms. Engelmoys, I believe. It's about the Mongol invasion.
No shit.
Apparently, it's pretty cool. Asobi Asabase is a show that looks like a really happy slice of life and is apparently an incredibly dark comedy.
Okay.
It's apparently super funny, but the art style is super like light and everything. Banana Fish, I've heard great things about. My Hero's still going. Grand Blue's comedy about a bunch of dude scuba divers.
Okay.
Hanabado is a show about not racquetball. What's the other one that isn't tennis?
Highlight?
Not highlight. The ball. It's a ball and it's got like little wings behind it. Fuck. What is it?
That is rack. No, what is?
No, I could just click on it.
They call it a gamecock.
I'm just badminton. I'm so
there
dumb.
you go.
I had it here and I could have clicked on it. Heard awesome things about that show. Harakuna Receive is the volleyball show. That's my trash ecchi show of the season.
Ooh, give me that. I want that.
Cells at Work. I think everybody knows that show's pretty...
So what the fuck is this that I keep hearing about?
Cells at Work is an edutainment series where your body is anime. It's Osmosis Jones, but anime.
I thought people were joking because I follow this fucking You'll Never Be This Uwutistic. It is one of my favorite Facebook pages.
It's pretty good.
And they said, like... weebs literally every day. Yo, this is my waifu, and it just shows a picture of a red blood cell, and I was like, nah, they didn't
she's
do
pretty
that.
cute.
Yeah,
But
apparently.
maybe this will get me over my fear of the human body. Okay, maybe I should say something. I don't like things that remind me that I'm like a person.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
Like
mortality, dealing with your mortality on any level is fucked. Like it's not a good place to be.
The moment you realize that you're just this pink blob piloting a goo mech.
Yeah,
I don't want to think about that.
Oh, dude, listen. As an overweight piece of shit with a bad gallbladder, my body just does things like random pains inside that I go, boy, oh boy, I hope that's not destroying me. Yeah. Whatever that fucking thing was, I hope it's not killing me.
Yeah.
I'm alive for now, but...
See, it's not even that. It's like, I don't want to think that there's like a thing here that pumps a fluid through my body. Even saying this is freaking me out. Like, having my blood drawn is the worst.
Right.
It's the absolute worst. It's like, oh god, I feel like it feels like my life force is being drained.
I mean, yet literally.
It literally is.
Literally is your
life
life
I don't want to think about that. I just want to be like the first-person camera where you don't see your feet.
Oh, so
that's
because
how I
you're
want to live.
squeamish about gore. I forgot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
that's
in some games I'm generally pretty okay with. It's getting harder. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
The moment I realized that was when they're operating on Paz in the helicopter in Ground Zeroes.
Yeah,
that was the point I'm like...
That is universally, like, even I who like, Gears of War and shit like that, and I'll play games like Ruiner for the sole purpose of fucking this game is gory as fuck and it's cool.
Prototype.
Yeah.
Prototype's just good, clean fun. But like no, I probably won't be able to play The Last of Us Part 2.
And pat the platelet.
Like I won't. Pat the platelet.
So you won't at all.
At all. I don't think I'll be able to. Based off of what they showed off at E3, I'm like, wow, this looks really cool.
Which is weird.
I won't play it.
It's weird because the first game was violent, but like they leaned into it hard on this. I was watching like
the disemboweling. I was like, nope, that's it. That's one of the worst. That's in my top 3 worst things to see in my life.
So the thing I didn't realize, right, was the moment where she has the explosive arrow and she pops it. Unfortunately, I have seen someone explode on Live Leak.
Okay.
I was like, that's way more realistic than it deserves to be.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is going to be a hard game.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
But it's
like this is not a good time. Like
it's like at the point where it's like, I've seen Evangelion 5 times. I've seen the Rebuild movies 3 times. I still have to look away when Asuka gets ripped apart.
Yeah, but that's
and the part where Unit 1 starts eating Unit 3 in Rebuild 2, I gotta fucking look away from because it's horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
And it works for the tone of the like what's happening, and I can appreciate that, but I'm not gonna fucking look at it.
Yeah, I still think the most horrifying thing is just the Asuka one.
Yeah, I would have loved to play Guillermo del Toro and Kojima's Silent Hills. I probably wouldn't have been able to, especially if Junji Ito was doing monsters.
I want confirmation that the motherfucker's working on Death Stranding. I want it. Give it to me.
To finish this up real quick, Planet With is a mecha show, so I'm gonna watch that because I can't say I like mechs and not watch mecha shows.
Right.
My shitty isekai show of the season is Shichusei no Subaru. I don't know the English name. But it's about an MMO and somebody dies outside of the MMO. They're not in the video. Nobody dies in the video game.
So it's just like them.
But the ghost is in the video game. There's a video game ghost.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
I haven't started any of these shows, so that's my plan tomorrow probably. And then I don't want to read this name, but a dude has a bunch of ghosts in a hot spring, and it's a harem show. That's my other trash ecchi show of the season.
What was it? I remember, is there another anime or is it a game that I saw?
Yuragi So no Yunasan is the name of this show.
Right.
I've heard not super great things, but the characters are cute. They're
it's a motherfucker. I'm trying to remember what the name of the fucking show is. I was scrolling past it and I just saw it on my feed. And the idea of it is like, hey, you thought girls and MMOs didn't exist. What if all of your guild was girls and it turns into a harem anime?
Okay.
So what is that? Because you got so y'all can't see that. Matt got really excited.
I saw that whole show.
What?
Jesse, and a bunch of people from the Go to Bed chat were just hitting random on like legal anime site that we all had subscriptions to, and we were gonna watch separately. We were just hitting random shows, and the show is called "And You Thought There Wasn't a Girl Online." And it was pretty fucking funny.
Okay, all right.
Because the main character, we watched the dub. The main character's voice actor didn't give a shit, and it was amazing.
Amazing.
So good. This sock is inside out. Unrelated note. I've officially, because you had 2 socks, now we're even.
Yep.
But no, that show is surprisingly good. The main girl is a character in Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, actually.
Oh, no shit.
That's who Matt plays.
Of course he does.
Fuck Matt. I love him. I love him. He's taught me so much.
Matt is literally the only person you can't say that about.
Yeah, he's taught me how to defend. Like, I can play Under Night and defend really good, which leads into what I've been playing. And it's been a lot. I've been playing a lot more Under Night than Cross Tag.
Right.
I'm kind of just waiting for the next pack of DLC right now. But I still like Cross Tag. Still love watching it. I've been playing a lot of Under Night, been getting back into that, been learning, finally learning Yuzahira. And I can play her now, and she makes sense. I have my...
Right, but do your fingers do the thing like mine where they crack because you just move them now?
Man, at first, my hand was killing me. Like, my fingers hurt. My wrist hurt, and it also hurt from playing Yuzahira.
Luke, I remember the day that we walked in, and Luke was like so proud of you, like a father. Yeah. Like he's like, "Wow, you got the bread and butter down," and he just kept smiling at you the whole time. I was like, "Oh."
Well, that's because I'm sure part of it's because they want to help me learn the game. Another part is they're like, Orlando needs a Yuzahira, so we will breed Max to be that Yuzahira. So that's been really cool. Other than that, I haven't been playing too many fighting games, really. Again, now that we do so many events for it, I play them. I play them sparingly, for sure.
I don't play them at all.
Yeah.
To make sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
You picked up Under Night. Everyone said they're going to teach you.
Yeah.
I had breakfast again. I've been having breakfast a whole lot more because been talking with the fighting game boys. And especially this week where I've had to be up 24/7.
Right.
Matt doesn't go to bed. Luke stays up pretty late. So I've been hanging out in like a little Discord with them. I've played Realm Royale a lot.
Oh boy.
I'm like Silver 5.
Oh wow.
I'm having I'd never played alone, but we're having fun. It just got a huge like patch that changed a whole lot. It's a lot more aggressive where games are like fast.
Okay.
Like there is almost no time spent not doing anything. I've played 100% Orange Juice again.
Yeah, okay, so they talked about that in the group chat.
Yeah, it's a weird board game
It's
thing.
Mario Party for weebs.
No, it's not.
No?
It's super weird. It's like a battle thing, but it's like a board game, and you have like goals where you have to get into fights to get stars and then complete laps and land on your checkpoint, and then you get cards that you build a deck with, but it's a community deck at the start. I don't know how to play it. We played like 2 matches while I was waiting for stuff to export.
My eyes are becoming like fucking spirals.
That's how, yeah, the way I feel when I listen to you guys like talk about your weird Korean MMO beat 'em ups. Like I played this, I understand it now, but even as I say it, my eyes bug out of my head because like I still don't know what's going on.
Right. Well, we went down that night. We went down a fucking path of just like pure degeneracy.
And trust me, I've known those guys for like a year and a half now. Most times when we go out to dinner, it's either that with online like PC games or mobile games.
Right.
I've played 2 separate gotcha mobile games, new ones. One that's called like Kings or Knights Conquest something, and this new one that's about food. They want you to fuck food now.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's called Food Fantasy. I can't get it to download, but I'm trying really hard. Oh man.
And the food looks regal as fuck tue. Like they're not even like moe anime girls.
Oh no, and most of them are hot dudes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hot dudes in there. Coffee is
fucking
extra as
clean
fuck.
in half.
Oh man.
But coffee's extra as fuck. Let me check coffee.
Coffee is pretty extra. We went through the tier list this morning. It was crazy. But this is also a news story, so we might as well get both out of the way. If you couldn't tell from the Breath of the Wild stream, I'm now the owner of a Switch.
Hey!
This happened because Target decided to commit financial suicide the night before the Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day, where...
Oh, dude, he's so extra, real quick.
I'm telling you.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Look at him, dude.
Wow, dude, that's fucking... Look at this dude. I want to be this dude.
That's... If I had to soul bond with anybody...
It'd be coffee.
Yeah! So Target decided... I still don't know if it was an accident, a corporate decision to combat Prime Day. I have no idea. But 6 separate 15% off coupons that all stacked and one $20 off a $50 purchase coupon were all just released to the wild. And apparently, even though we saw some pretty crazy receipts, this wasn't a huge deal. I went on our gaming, I went on 4chan, I went as many different places as I could. Nobody fucking knew about this.
No, I legitimately think like it was a strange Eastern Seaboard thing because when you look at like all the people that got their fucking hauls, it was like late at night. Like nobody was up. It was just the one day out of every day that gamers are fucking up and forever that everyone just said, no, we got work tomorrow. And like just fucking fast out. And because the moment when I woke up and I went to work that day at 8:30, I checked Resetter, and they said, yeah, no, it's done. Like, it was a glitch.
Yeah.
We're still honoring some of the things, but, like, it was literally in the span of when I got into that call at 12 to 8.
Yeah.
And if you didn't fucking check it out, and the thing is, it wasn't just games. It was every single thing on that
you could get
website.
Your groceries dirt cheap if you want. A new TV, a lawnmower, whatever you wanted to soul bond into. That's my new favorite. I'm happy I was reintroduced to that. That's
soul bonded to this fucking John Deere mower. Give me a job.
God damn it.
Someone fucking saved $15,000 or $16,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a $20,000 purchase he got for $8,000, I think it was.
Oh my god, dude.
Which is crazy. Scalpers had a field day. People were coming home with 6 Xbox One X's. Mm-hmm. The Xbox One X was cheaper than the One S. So I ended up getting a Switch and 3 or 4 games for around $170.
That's pretty good.
But you can ask anybody in that Discord call. I had to step out and go for a walk because I was having
He was having a fucking conniption.
I was having a full-blown fucking conniption.
If we ever get to a point where we're gonna like reference old shit from podcast, insert fucking Max in the kitchen yelling about how Switch owners are gay.
Yeah. And again, I would have waited until SMT5 to buy a Switch, but it would have been stupid. It would have been idiotic not to, especially when I had the money sitting there.
Right.
So
it was literally the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was literally, if you don't do it now, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
And you took the plunge, and apparently you enjoy all of it.
I'm enjoying the Switch. I've also said this: if I had tried Jarrell's Vive beforehand, I would not have bought a Switch at all.
You'd got him.
I would have gotten a VR headset.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. And that really boils down to Mario is super good. Mario Odyssey, Mario Tennis is Virtua Fighter. I don't know how to play it, but it's cool. The most I've played on my Switch has been Disgaea 5. In the amount of time I had that game for a year on PS4, I put that time in on the Switch because now I can do my mindless grind just in my hands while I watch shit. I'll never take it out of my house, but like the Disgaea doesn't have to stop.
Well, like if like traveling ever becomes like a huge thing for us, right? Huge, like that'll just be like an instant like, all right, let me just get some levels in Disgaea 5.
In the first
and
couple,
they just announced Disgaea 6 is on the way.
I'm not ready for it.
So
I'm genuinely not ready for it. I put 20 hours in the first couple of days I had my Switch.
Yeah.
Other than that, Breath of the Wild is cool so far. I still don't think, if I wasn't playing it on stream, I don't think I would be enjoying it as much. Because again, it's really not the game for me. But it's cool.
The small bit that I've played, right, I feel like it would be up my alley, but the problem is that like I played it originally at a time in which there was an overwhelming amount of open world games out at the time.
Yeah.
Like, not open world games, but games that were like going to take an obscene amount of time. That is for sure a game that like the core aspect of gaining like inventory space is to find tiny little fucking plant seeds.
I will say this, I don't hate Nintendo, nor am I a Nintendo fanboy. I'm relatively down the middle. I liked making fun of the Switch because it was fun. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's all it came down to. I don't think if you're not a diehard Nintendo fan, I still don't think there's any reason to own a Switch.
Really?
Like even owning one. Like I've made 2 trips to Cybertron for like other stuff just as I've been trading in to pick up Switch games, and I've genuinely had to strain myself to like, okay, you don't have a new copy of Bayonetta 2 that includes Bayonetta 1, so that's out. I guess I'll get Breath of the Wild. And I picked up Mario Kart today, but that was like, I guess I don't really want Kirby right now, and Mario Kart's like a party game. I guess I'll get Mario Party.
Right.
And like...
Well, that's always been the issue with me for like a lot of... especially now considering the fact that we're not even going to get like a real No More Heroes.
Yeah.
We might, but like
that depends on whether this
I was told we might get No More Heroes 3 back when No More Heroes 2 fucking came out.
Yeah.
And that the whole idea was No More Heroes 2 was supposed to be like hey, here's how it went down.
Yeah.
That's another interesting thing I wish I'd brought more information about, real quick aside. Hearing about how Shadows of the Damned, how EA fucked that game up left and right.
Yeah.
That's a heartbreaking thing.
I'm happy that like Grasshopper manufacturers at a point where they can kind of just publish their own stuff.
Yeah.
Or at the very least not have to go through like Ubisoft to publish No More Heroes or like EA to publish Shadows of the Damned.
Cause a lot of that is because of the fact that their gung-ho side of the studio got bought out by Tencent, and Tencent is
there you go
fucking like that's it. Like they own Riot, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's it. They own Riot and they own some of Epic. Done. Like that's that's literally the 2 most popular fucking games.
Yeah.
Right now,
Tencent is genuinely terrifying.
They are a terrifying company,
corporation,
and so far they have been very hands off with all of their studios.
Yeah.
Which I think when you make that much money, you can get away with it, but it's still an uber like crazy company. Like they own everything over in China. It feels like, and now the rest of the world too. So, but they're doing good. So,
but yeah, no. In general, the console itself, I think, is really cool. The gimmick is not a gimmick. It's everything I liked about the Wii U, but significantly better because you could take this places.
Right.
And the fact that the controllers are modular, like playing the single Joy-Con sucks, but both Joy-Con separately is awesome. In the controller, it's great, and in the tablet, it's great. Biggest problem for me is like, the graphics don't matter, but 60 FPS at least.
Right.
Kirby doesn't run at 60 FPS. Yeah. Or at least the demo doesn't. All the gameplay I've seen looks like it runs at a solid frame rate, but the demo at the very least does not.
I wonder if they were to allow people to have like an SSD or maybe like a external hard drive, if that would actively help.
You can.
Right, but like I wonder if that would actively help the Switch. But at the same time, the way that thing is set up, I think that's it. You know what I mean? Like just because of the fact that portability is such a huge aspect of it. I mean, you look at like the Shield even.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most powerful. That's the most powerful handheld system in the market, and it still doesn't run as well.
Now, granted, this is only disappointing as a console. Mario Odyssey still runs at 60 FPS and looks fantastic in handheld mode. Disgaea, well, should run at 60 FPS, but it does, and it looks fantastic. Breath of the Wild runs great in handheld mode. It's obviously not 60, but it's consistent. Mario Tennis is 60 in handheld. It seems like the Mario games and Zelda all are solid frame rates across the
First
board,
party.
which makes it really confusing that Kirby isn't.
Well, it was
Because Kirby's second party, I get it, it's HAL Laboratory, but like still, like Kirby is Nintendo. I feel like you'd still give it to them, or help them out.
Don't know.
That being said, it's a much better Smash box than the Wii U was. I can definitely say that.
You're actually pretty pumped about Smash, right?
I'm pretty pumped about because I've learned how to have fun with Smash again.
Okay.
It involved alcohol, but I like Smash again.
Listen, whatever it takes. From 100%. I've never sat down and when someone says let's play Smash, I will 100% play Smash.
Oh, I'll never say no.
I'll never say no. I'll 100% play Smash over Mario Kart any fucking day.
Yeah.
Over Mario Party any fucking day because Smash is just fast. Like which is a funny thing to say because that's the one thing we make fun of it for.
Yeah.
Smash is way faster than fucking like Mario Party, and it's way more balanced than fucking Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't when you beat someone's ass, it feels good every single time.
Yeah, no, the party game tier list for me definitely goes Smash at the top, then Mario Party, then Mario Power Tennis is there for sure.
Really?
And then Mario Kart.
Okay.
Way below.
Yeah.
Below Sonic and Sega All-Stars.
Yeah,
like straight up.
I feel like Mario Kart, the same fucking thing happens where people are like, yeah, let's play Mario Kart. And we play a couple of rounds, and then it just gets really competitive, like, out of nowhere, and not in the fun way.
Yeah.
Not in the fun, like, Mario Party, like, fuck you, I'm drunk, and we're having a good time, and you just took all my stars from some bullshit RNG. It's like, no, this rubber banding is making me really upset. Like it never pops off like it's a fun time. And the battle modes on the latest one are fine.
Yeah.
But like, because that's literally the only
I haven't done that yet.
Thing.
I played one Grand Prix before you got here, and 120 cc. I can't control it. Like I'm bad at this game right now.
Yeah.
And that's what the Switch has also taught me is that Nintendo games are not easy anymore. They're not. Or I'm way worse. Mm-hmm. I can't tell. Zelda is hard. Mario Tennis is super technical. Mario Kart is hard at 200cc. You have to do like during your drift, you have to hold back in B to like manually adjust your speed to make sure you don't just go careening off the track.
Yeah,
because you're going too fast.
Right.
Like there's tech now. And so I'm going to have to spend some more time with it. But yeah, in general, positive thoughts about the Switch. Enjoying it. Did I need it now? No. Did I buy it because it was cheap? Yes. But it'll be around for SMT. I don't have to worry about it now. It's there. It's right there.
Right.
The house will have one. And it's there. Haven't been playing anything else. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Nope. That's
wow. All right. What happened?
Yeah. We got.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Our usual segment, "Who Said the N-Word on Stream," has gone through kind of an evolutionary transition.
Right.
Where we're starting to see every kind of variant of it. We're getting to see who lied about their Kickstarter. We're going to see a couple of those. We're going to get to see who retroactively destroyed their careers. And then who could have prevented that. Who did it twice on the same thing, but still did it. We've gotten to see who hosted a con that was so poorly planned that it lost them and tons of people a lot of money.
Yeah.
There have been multiple of those. Some within the span of a couple of weeks from the same person. But there's also been some cool things, like Comic-Con happened.
Comic-Con
happened.
A lot
of cool stuff happened at Comic-Con.
One of the main takeaways from Comic-Con that
Valdo and Soul Calibur.
Yes. No.
No.
But like in terms of like comic shit, did not think I was gonna be about Aquaman. That looks stupid, and I'm into it.
I didn't see the Aquaman trailer. I saw the Shazam trailer.
Because I didn't know that Aquaman is just a fucking bro.
Yeah.
Like he's just a surfer bro who's just like super dumb and like they not like regal at all.
Yeah, apparently he was the appealing part of Justice League.
Yeah,
It was like
I can see it now. He looks like a fun character,
Yeah.
and the action looks pretty fun. The new Teen Titans.
I didn't watch that, but man,
You haven't seen the
I
trailer?
haven't seen the trailer. No.
Oh my god!
All I know is does he actually say fuck Batman?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
He says
That's
fuck
it.
Batman right after he stabs someone in the neck with a Robin star
Teen
and
Titans.
shoots 7 different people
With a gun?
with a gun.
Teen Titans.
So
Go.
So apparently, like the whole idea
Away.
of it is they're not Teen Titans, they're Titans now.
Is it just called Titans?
It's just called Titans because I think they're young adults.
Well, that's Young Justice. They already had that. They could have done something with that.
Which also got a trailer. I think that's what it's called, right? Young Justice Season 3.
Well, that does compare how much people care about Teen Titans and how much people care about Young Justice.
Well, I mean, no. I think the problem with the Young Justice trailer was that it showed too much. It was a 5-minute trailer that showed a lot of like the last seasons and then the seasons coming up.
Yeah.
But like, Young Justice has always been something that I've been told about and like, hey, watch it. And I remember watching a couple episodes with some of my bros.
Is it on the
Netflix.
CW?
No.
Okay. Because
it's like an actual fun. Do you know what I'm talking about at all? Or
because a lot of the DC animated.
Yeah.
Animated. Okay.
You didn't know
I
that?
thought it was a live action Young Justice. No, I knew there was an animated Young Justice.
Yeah,
I thought
that,
they were doing the
that's
live action
pretty,
one as
no,
well.
yeah, animated Young Justice is pretty fucking cool.
Oh, okay.
Like so that's
DC animated stuff's generally pretty good.
Yeah, they're killing it. They're killing it lately.
For Batman Ninja.
Oh, did that suck?
Apparently, it wasn't super great.
I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be anything other than the gimmick.
Based off of that team, it should have been a masterpiece.
Who was the team?
The animation was done by the guys who did the 3D JoJo openings.
Because it's still because you make them look good, but that doesn't mean like you have good direction.
Hold on. Keep talking about Young Justice while I look this team up.
Don't know much about Young Justice.
Well, keep talking about your whatever.
Fuck, what else happened?
Fill the time. Go,
I know,
fast.
But fuck, oh
fast
no.
Go zoom.
Fast go zoom. I got to pull up what actually happened at Comic-Con because I actually didn't fucking pay much attention to Comic-Con other than I think there was some controversy. Was that Comic-Con or Anime Expo? No, it was Anime Expo. The Momo-Kuns. Oh, no. Biggest thing I saw at Comic-Con was Thanos cosplay.
Cholo
with the Thanos with the chancla of Infinity.
Oh, God.
Super good. Shazam. That's what I saw, too.
Shazam was actually kind of fun. I don't know.
It did. It looked fun. It looked like a CW show more than a movie.
Shazam is such a stupid character.
Shazam is
I'm happy it's just like
Shazam is that one fucking person from like Power Rangers Turbo Force. You remember that? There was a kid who was the Red Ranger who grew up into an adult.
Yeah.
Every time he transformed, it was he had an adult body, but his voice was still a child. It was really silly. You're still pulling it up.
I genuinely can't find it.
What was it again?
It was Batman Ninja. But the character designs were all done by the guy who did the designs for Afro Samurai. I am pretty sure this was either directed by the guy who did Gurren Lagann.
Oh,
no. I know this was like an all-star team,
right?
And it's currently at like a 5-star on IMDb, which could be anything.
That sucks. A lot of shit happened at Comic-Con that I just completely fucking straight up forgot. Scrolling past some stuff here. Iron Fist apparently looks fine. Clone Wars is coming back for a lot of people.
I feel like they're too late. I feel like that time is like people seem to be like excited about it, but I also think people are getting real tired of Star Wars right now.
I think that really just comes from the amount of blowback that's coming from both the movie and the all the craziness surrounding it, all the controversy and stuff like that. I wish I had more to say about Comic-Con because I know a fuck ton of shit happened. Wow, we're a professional podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll tell you what, 6 takeaways from 2018.
Apparently, only the back of the Walmart box knows, and that's not anywhere.
That's not great.
Every American box doesn't mention any of the Japanese creators
Oh,
of the Japanese show.
So I did see one trailer that I was like, it kind of reignited an old love for me, and it's not even associated technically within like that unit. Well, it's in the universe, obviously. Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them. Grimm's the second movie is coming out.
Yeah,
that trailer was fucking cool as shit.
I saw the older one, the first trailer for the second movie that came out, and that stinger was like, oh man, this is probably cool for Harry Potter boys.
Yeah. The second one is a singer and it ends with it, and Nicholas Flamel. I was like, oh my fuck! Like immediately I turned on like that's the fucking alchemist that everyone keeps talking about in the books. Like, oh fuck, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, this is Dumbledore in World War II era shit. Like, oh fuck, this is cool as fuck. Yeah, why have I never watched this fucking movie?
See, I've never been too into Harry Potter. My mom like tried to read the books to me.
Because you were a baby when they came out. Oh my god.
And only the first one. She only tried to read the first because it was around.
I think I was 11 or 12.
I think that timeline lines up.
Yeah, you were probably like a babu.
But no, she just bought the rest for herself and just read. Like my mom is the big Harry Potter fan. Right. I don't care. I
never see. The thing is, I never fucking. I read all 6 books, and then Deathly Hallows came out. Deathly Hallows came out, and my girlfriend at the time bought it. Was gonna read it when she was done with it. Never did. So I saw the movies, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I think seeing it as a movie was way better, to be honest. But Half-Blood Prince was a really good fucking book. Crazy fun, like that. That's one of those like endings where I remember the day very well, where I got up to the page where Snape does the thing.
Yeah.
And I was actually sitting here, like over the VA in your apartment at the VAB, right? At like we're like near the VAB.
Okay.
Out over the Cape, trying to watch a launch. And I was just like busy reading and furiously, and then I got to that point, and I looked at Mom. I was like, "Mom, Snape done did it. Oh, Snape done killed Dumbledore, Mama."
Oh my god!
Why did he do that, Mom? So it reinvigorated an old love for me. I definitely think that as far as aesthetically, I think I'll show you the trailer afterwards as well.
Yeah.
That is still one of the coolest worlds, like right now. One of the coolest original magical takes.
Because it's really the only one right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's pretty well established at this point, but like, it's cool that they're just taking it in a completely different direction with this. And I'm more interested in Fantastic Beasts than I've been in like Harry Potter. And I saw 1 through 5. I didn't see 6, and then I saw the second half of 7, and like that was it. But this seems like I'd be more interested in it.
It's just the idea of Dumbledore doing fucking sick teleports across the area is really cool to me.
Yeah.
Like a young Dumbledore actually doing young Dumbledore shit is really fucking rad. And then just like I said, like the whole Nicholas Flamel kind of stinger, I was like, shit, I'm gonna watch this movie, aren't I? I'm gonna be a Harry Potter nerd again, aren't I?
Did you ever watch the first one?
No, I heard it wasn't that good. I heard a lot of people even who loved the movie said like, it wasn't really as good as the original Harry Potter movies. But this one looks like it's, I mean, from like when I show you the second trailer, you'll see what I mean. Like it looks pretty incredible from like an aesthetic standpoint. Like it is insane looking. Yeah. Battle Angel Aelita.
Oh, did it?
Still has the fucked up eyes, but once again, you look at the trailer, there are just scenes lifted directly from the anime that might be the best anime adaptation of all time.
But she's an alien.
Right. But technically she's also looks that way in the anime.
Nah, but
I think if we get over that hump, first of all, we got to watch the first one. We got to watch the actual original OVA.
Yeah.
Because I remember the small bits that I remember of it. It like the trailers are triggering memories because of how like on the like it's not just like with the Ghost in the Shell where it's like every now and then you'll see like that
Look,
makes...
she flipped him in the water, remember?
Right.
Remember when she does the backflip off the thing?
Yeah. Which is like that's one of the most iconic scenes ever, and they still kind of fucked that up.
Yeah, I never even. I still refuse to watch Ghost in the Shell, the live action series. It's been hard. I've walked into like teachers' offices and they'll just have it playing, and I'm like, all right, let's get this meeting over with. And pause that.
I really like the aesthetic. It's like, so just watch Blade Runner. The fuck?
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 is the best Ghost in the Shell adaptation.
Pretty good.
And I've never seen it, so I made.
All right, yeah. So Comic-Con happened, Anime Expo happened. People got blown the fuck up at Anime Expo, mainly cosplayer. One cosplayer in general.
One last thing, and I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was from Comic-Con.
Right.
4.0 is happening.
Yeah. What the fuck is it with her just flipping around and shooting in different directions? I thought Mary died. I forgot that the rebuilds were a thing.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, allegedly.
Uh-huh.
And fucking Anno is finally he's finally done on his wacky Godzilla adventure. And he's finally I'm going to have closure for so many things that I'll just be a new person. Like, Max Chapter 2.
Right. This is what it means to grow.
What's it called? Oh, in the Phantom Pain, when it just says... Because there's only 2 chapters. What's the Chapter 2?
Oh, fuck.
Because Chapter 3 is like peace or disarmament. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm hitting the time skip. Max Shippuden is gonna start.
Dude, 2019 Max Shippuden's happening.
Oh, that movie's not coming out in 2019.
Well,
no,
it's starting.
2020.
Max Shippuden is starting because Kingdom Hearts 3 will be out, and so will Devil May Cry 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's true.
You know,
Devil May Cry 5. You know, I love Devil May Cry, but I don't have an attachment to it like Evangelion. I watched Evangelion at the exact age that you should. Like, I was Shinji's age. Like, on the dot.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't care how stupid it gets. 3.0 is dumb as shit. I just need to see it end.
You need an ending.
I need an ending, and I need a fucking Blu-ray box set that doesn't cost $800 fucking dollars. Mm-hmm. Because, goddamn it, Anno, you'll sell anything with Evangelion on it but a Blu-ray disc.
Oh my
so
God.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
It's
yeah,
just the one scene
Mari
we got
twirling
of Mari
through the air,
twirling through the air with Ava SMGs. Like, what the hell is she shooting at?
I will tell you because you haven't seen the rebuild movies, have you?
No, I haven't.
The next episode preview at the end of 3.0 is a billion times dumber and crazier than that.
Okay.
Way dumber and crazier. So right after we watch Madoka, which I've just accepted at this point, I'm going to have to force you through in person.
Yeah, you are.
We will watch Rebuild, because now there's a reason to, because it will have an ending. Maybe.
Oh, I got one as well for you.
Oh, shit.
Crunchyroll just announced
I saw
that they're fucking putting Outlaw Star.
I saw Outlaw Star. I'm like, maybe I'll watch it.
And it's time to watch Outlaw Star again.
Yeah.
And it's time. It's time.
Yeah, so.
It's time to watch Gene Starwind use his ship to kill people.
Hell yeah.
With his bare hands.
And when I get the High Dive subscription, we can both watch all 122 episodes of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Oh, fuck, that's 122. Are you talking about the old series?
And the second series, it's also over 100 episodes.
Jesus fuck.
Apparently, it's one of the greatest space operas ever made.
Yeah, 100, 200 plus fucking episodes, it better be.
Fucking better be.
Jesus. Is that Harlock, right?
Space Captain Harlock is, I think,
is he in the Galactic?
I think it's a separate thing.
Is Spaceship Yamato in it?
That sounds right.
Then I think Harlock's there.
It's probably. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
I know very little about it, and I'm trying to keep it that way because I do want to watch it eventually. That'll be my long-running shonen that I go back to. Will be Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
All right. Where do you want to tackle this from? Where do you want to go?
There's this controversy everywhere.
Yeah.
Laden, you could not step 5 feet in any direction without someone fucking up. Like, hard.
Everybody checking their previous tweets,
Yeah.
and Facebook posts, and YouTube videos, just going back, scrubbing it,
scrub it the fuck clean. So the way I see it, when we had the TanaCon controversy, that was a fucking shit show and a half. Tana Mongoose coming out and like everyone's having these like back and forth problems with YouTube, and it makes sense because YouTube has been kind of shitty to everyone, like every one of their largest creators, and all the controversy coming out about how they genuinely knew going into it that there was no way they were going to fill up, like they were going to be able to have that many people show up. Also, even though there were tons of people that did end up showing up, it was not the incredible amount that they said. There was maybe like 2,500, but still that's an inordinate amount of people to put into a 500-person space.
Based off of absolutely no notice at all.
Yeah, like, literally like the fucking week of.
Which, now that we are hosting events like pretty frequently, we only have like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to prepare for our next Sunset Showdown, and I'm freaking out. Right. And only 50 people go to that one.
Right.
So the fact that somebody thinks they can get away with less than a week of planning, and then a week beforehand with that many people, you're an idiot.
Right, and I think it stems from the fact that it's this culture of there is a subsection of content creators that are just wholly irresponsible and have insane amounts of money and think that is simply the way that everything's going to go down.
Yeah.
Case in point. Which is funny enough, like there's another event that's happening very soon, the KSI Logan Paul fucking boxing match.
This is a new
that is actually starting riots in London.
They're gonna box.
Oh
man.
Very little that I know about that. Logan Paul went over to KSI's hometown, where he had a lot of people there. And he just let Logan Paul have it. Logan Paul didn't even get a fucking word in edgewise. KSI dragged that motherfucker through the mud. And then after that happened, teens took to the streets and effectively rioted.
Damn.
And everyone is saying this is going to be the most popular, most streamed event of all time. And that hurts my heart.
Yeah,
but if I have a way to watch
can't get main stage.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Damn it, Alex.
And then
it did get main stage.
And then Momo-kun got.
Oh god, this wasn't even what I thought you were going to talk about.
Oh no, like you got to remember
another
one.
There was
What other one was there?
I don't know. There's this guy who's apparently a big YouTuber. Aphex knew his name better. This is actually going to be one of the few times where things I talked about on the Fun Zone will come up on this podcast.
Oh, shit.
Which will not happen too often.
No.
Apparently there is some kind of YouTube guy, and not knowing names makes this a lot harder.
Yeah.
But he basically tried to put on a convention in Australia, and it fucking failed. And he has a bit of a personality disorder, and he went fucking nuts. And so he decided to host a music festival that was going to be bigger than Coachella. Drake is coming. He knows Drake.
Fousey too?
Fousey, you got it.
There you go. That's who it is.
Fousey.
Yeah, because that guy's losing his fucking mind. You brought up the Drake
Palooza was a massive failure.
You brought up the Drake thing, and I remember I was actually streaming, and I was at the point where I just woken up, and it was like 7:50, and I'm starting to stream, and you know me, one of my fucking rituals is turn on Philip DeFranco. That's my news.
Learn what's happening.
And I was just like, fuck it, you guys are gonna sit there and watch some of this with me because I want to know. I'm not gonna wait until fucking 2 hours. So I'm watching it, and that man has escalated into a level of woke I was not aware that was feasible.
He has soul bonded.
Give it to me. What is it? With his play button?
There's too many.
He's soul bonded with his play button?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Real
he is soul bonded to his own hubris.
Oh, dude.
His real name gone. He is just Fuzi now.
He's Foozapalooza. That's his stand name.
Foozapalooza. Bigger than Coachella. Oh, man.
You gotta. There's gonna be a lot of shit I'm gonna have to show you right after because you gotta see the level of just insanity that this guy was on, talking about how effectively he waited outside of a Drake concert with a lot of his own fans for the sole purpose of saying that I could just talk to Drake. Drake will be at my concert. I promise. And it effectively got to a point where he just looked at Drake. And they did like a nod, and he goes, and I felt all this energy that day, and I knew he was going to be at Foozapalooza.
Please look forward.
YouTubers are fucking stupid.
Well, again, I said this on Fun Zone. I was like, we're reaching the peak where, like, the idiotic vlogger people are getting just enough confidence and resources to do big, colossal, hilarious fuck-ups. And I hope to God that it doesn't cause actual social unrest. It very well might if people are rioting in the streets.
Yeah.
If people are still trying to defend Logan Paul, we are too far gone. Wars will be fought.
How do you feel knowing that the corporate agenda is going to be a Logan Paul-centric agenda? How's that fucking fitting for you? How's that turning your fucking gears, buddy? That in the Cyberpunk 2077 era,
we are getting ready to start the YouTube Universal Century. We are getting to the point where people have enough money where they could just be like, yeah, I'll just host a convention. Fuck VidCon a week in advance, and then also have enough money to convince a hotel to allow that?
Instead of colony drops, it's con drops. They're just
dropping cons.
This whole ass just throw the whole convention out. Fuck
this is something that's going to be lost on a lot of people, including maybe you. But, like, they're going to be called Basilicons, and it's going to become Freedom Wars, where YouTubers are banding together and then capturing fans in these giant mechs that are made from melted down play buttons.
You have to raise your subscriber count.
You have to buy your rights with likes. You gotta ring the. You can't just ring the bell.
You can enable the You can enable the comments in the rating section.
Oh my god! You need citizenship to upload more than 10 minutes. You need. Oh my god! It's getting to a scary point.
You have
but
to,
like
you
also
have to have at least a year of service before you get to enable a custom banner.
Oh man. Oh man, we are genuinely reaching this horrible point where the world could very well end, and it could just be because of fucking losers pointing cameras at themselves. Like,
dude.
Because I think about this all the time, but like if PewDiePie really wanted to, he could probably overthrow a small nation. Like 100%. I'm sure he has enough diehard fans, and if you have enough kids, like they add up to people. Like you could overthrow a government.
Why?
World War Y and World War Y. Oh my god.
Fucking PewDiePie loading kids into a t-shirt cannon and firing them over the Great Wall of China trying to take it down.
Dude.
Brofist!
Your taxes will be paid with YouTube Red subscriptions in this horrible post-apocalyptic.
I don't know why we're saying
the database isn't safe.
Look, I don't know why we're saying that YouTube's going to be the fucking... I just learned the other day that Amazon owns 50% of the online commerce industry. 50% of every item bought and sold on the internet.
They will be
is
the
an Amazon
weapon suppliers.
Ooh, oh,
same day shipping.
Are you ready to be an Amazon dog of war?
I'm so angry. Did you hear Logan Paul's Basilicom just got 80 fucking RX 78.2s because of Prime Day, and they're getting it tomorrow.
Fuck!
Oh my god, it's a shame Target went out of business in 2018. Oh my god. I wish I had spent those 15% off coupons on a Zaku instead of a Switch.
Oh, dude, you don't understand.
Oh my god. You know what? Fucking losers like us might have to pilot the mechs because that's gonna be all that's left. Chads, move aside. Football is done. 2020 is the end of sports. League of Legends is going to become the new blood sport. We're all going to be piling into stadiums to watch people play Rocket League. The world's ending.
None of what you're saying sounds even remotely bad. That
No,
sounds
it
like
doesn't.
the coolest.
And I'm ready. The hipsters on purpose Basilicom will be small but modest.
Small but modest, and we will always be.
We will
the
be a
underdogs.
series of gun tanks. You know, nothing crazy. We might have one GM unit. I still haven't seen a single episode of Gundam, by the way. I think I'm doing pretty good.
I just want to fucking look a man in the eyes before he dies to my cannon shot and go, real grade, bitch.
Like, favorite, subscribe. Oh.
Ring that bell.
Ring that. Oh my god. I've given myself a headache.
Yeah.
Just from that
was a lot.
tirade.
That was a lot, man.
What were we even?
Anyways, cosplayers, I guess.
Yeah, the cosplayers. Where will they fit into this new world order?
They could be like, they could be like the face, right?
They're like the idols that like.
Yeah.
But we harvest their performa in order to power our.
If Jessica Negri comes to our Basilicon and powers our mechs
Basilicon
with her fucking sheer willpower.
Oh my god.
Like, all right, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, there's nowhere else but up or down from here because that was the height of that because none of that's happening. The unfortunate.
Well, here let's do two callbacks to get us back on track.
Right, come on, give me back.
There is probably somebody out there who has soul bonded to Logan Paul.
Yeah,
and that's very, very, very depressing.
What if he's super popular too? What if it's like he actually
he's a common soul bond?
Like, what if Logan Paul genuinely is doing that?
What if your subscribers get replaced by total soul bonds?
No, what I'm saying is like
we're back.
what I'm saying is like, okay, so you soul bond as like a way to consistently live forever. So Logan Paul's
body will die.
Yeah, but he keeps soul bonding to other kids, and they just keep becoming regressing as worse versions of Paul.
How long has this been happening for? Who can say?
Is Jake Paul a failed soul bond?
Okay, I will once again say this. I do as like you don't live forever if you do that. It's dumb. I think that's dumb. I think it's dumb in science fiction.
Oh.
The idea that, like, all of the members of SEAL are like, yeah, we're just all going to turn into goop and then live forever in Unit 1. No, you're going to die.
Yeah, you're
and
dead.
then maybe a copy of you lives somewhere.
Right.
Like, Westworld does the same thing. It's like, we're going to live forever in the machines. And then they kill themselves. It's like, no, you're dead. You idiots. Maybe some part of you, like a copy of you is somewhere, but that's not you. You just fell off a cliff and died. By the way, guys, sorry you were all too stupid to enjoy Westworld Season 2, you fucking idiots.
Did that actually come out? Like the creators were saying
100%. HBO was like, we feel like our audience. Westworld is a very intellectual. You know the Rick and Morty copy pasta?
Yeah, that.
It was that.
Yeah.
It was that, but not a joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Maybe it's, it couldn't have been poor writing or pacing or contrivances or anything like that.
No.
It must have been they were too stupid. Hey, guys, guess what? Just play near. Don't play Detroit. Just play near.
So doing this whole Detroit kind of analysis has really kind of framed how perfect of a game Nier Automata is.
Nier
And Nier.
Automata. I'd say
Like,
how perfect of a story Nier
Yeah.
Automata is.
yeah.
Because I still have major like gameplay problems with Nier.
Right, but I think as an experience, like
As
it's
a
so,
complete experience,
it's so important.
the
that it's
sum
still
of
a
its
game.
parts is immense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it didn't need to be open world.
No.
I mean, yeah.
But it helped.
But it helped. I mean, it's a very pretty open world, but there is a lot of running back and forth.
Also, once again, Keiichi Okabe, how many times we have to say it? Man's a genius. Between him and Yoko Shimomura, some of the best composers out there right now, killing it.
Yeah.
Actually got into more Takeharu Ishimoto, the guy who made the World Ends With You soundtrack. That guy got some good work.
I want to like The World Ends With You a lot.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
You'll have it. You'll have it soon.
Yeah, we'll see. If it still plays like it, then no, I won't like it.
Well,
And the soundtrack, there are some bangers for sure, but
I'm glad I'm going to be
know.
able to hear them in not 3DS quality.
yeah,
That'll be a fun time.
that'll be good. It'll still be 3DS quality.
Shut up.
But yeah, no, the absolutely fantastic composer Shoji Meguro is still fucking. If Persona 5 was any indication, he's still going strong. I'm very excited for SMT5's soundtrack.
Dude, fuck. I still want to play like either a Persona or an SMT game that takes place in the 80s during the height of like that Japanese crazy motorcycle gang fashion. Like I'm super about
I would
that.
like time jump Raido Kuzunoha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, yeah.
And he's a Bancho, you know.
Like at the beginning of like the Pop Idol thing, like that'd be super cool.
During the big economic boom, yeah, you could do some cool stuff with that.
Just because like you play Yakuza 0 and you go, holy fuck, this is such a great like era.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is a fucking
Yakuza
really
0
interesting
2 will
era.
be an SMT game.
Okay, so I guess we'll just get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah.
We already tried to bring up Momo-kun just to kind of give a side for that. It's a cosplayer who's been well known in the community for being kind of a shitlord.
Yeah.
Just recently came out that she has been sexually harassing an innumerable amount of very high-profile cosplayers.
Yeah.
Had an entire kind of like Me Too movement around her happen. She turned around and said, I got the ADHD, that's why I touched the boobies. And of course the internet heard that and goes, you need to not say that ever again.
I don't know. I think I guess it's just because you never really know until it actually happens to you, I guess. But like, you got a part of you has to know how fucking dumb that is to say, right?
Yeah, like the words coming out of your mouth.
Like at this point, it's too late. Your excuse won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to come clean,
right?
apologize, and then you're still fucked, but you're not the person who said, yeah, well, you know, ADHD, it turns me into a sexual assaultist. That's not what it is. Why did I say it like that?
But that's what we're going to call it from now on.
Yeah. I did see stuff about that.
Yeah. Because even Philip DeFranco covered it. Like
which reminds me of, which just goes to show how long it's been. Because, yeah, that was like a month or so back, right?
No, about 2
it's
or
still
3 weeks
going,
ago.
but yeah, okay.
2 or 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah,
like
that sounds
Anime
right.
Expo. And then on top of that, like that other thing that actually happened either during or right after our last podcast, Jessica Price firing from ArenaNet. I don't know if you remember that one. That she was a lady who worked with ArenaNet, the guys who created Guild Wars 2.
Yes.
And
Okay, I do know
she
that.
engaged in a bit of a tiff with a guy who, at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was 100% on Popcron's side and the majority of the internet of being like, she handled that poorly. And I still think that she handled it poorly. But that guy leaned into it super hard right afterwards by totally trying to, like, hashtag I'm a feminist. And I was like, okay, now I kind of see why people are saying that this is a little bit, like, calculated attack. Which is weird because it's like, you know, and the other thing is, too, the firing was so sudden Like it was almost like a day after it happened.
It
just felt really weird, and it's like I want to disagree. I want to like say yeah they have the right, but it's also just because it happened so quickly. But then people seem to forget that she was one of the many people, not just her. She was one of the many people who took Total Biscuit's death not in passing, but in terms of like rah, the witch is dead.
Yeah,
like that's not a good look for anybody.
It doesn't sound like many people are in the right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody was like. That's the thing. I think with the Jessica Price situation, everyone handled it poorly.
Yeah,
everyone
incredibly poorly.
And regardless of whether or not anyone has their personal like, I still think that everyone who handled it poorly was still completely within their right to do so. Yeah. That's the worst part about it. Is like no one acted out of turn. Every single person did the thing that they are completely allowed to do.
It was just a perfect
storm of shit. And and really the unfortunate thing is the only person who ended up suffering was Jessica Price and that coworker of hers who jumped in to try to be like to save her. Which
what happened to them? They get fired.
They got fired too.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's really bad.
This
so it's
is
like
weird.
Which leads into another tweet popping off. Now this was absolutely a calculated attack from a right-wing personality by the name of Mike Cernovich and a lot of his followers. That's essentially the narrative being pressed around right now. Because James Gunn, if you remember a while back, Roseanne Barr just got fired and taken off pretty much wholesale from a lot of her shit because of the rather racist remarks that she made on Twitter.
Yeah.
And James Gunn quite literally said, hey, she was irresponsible and said something out in a tweet. She deserved that, and the company's completely within their right. Well, a lot of people do a lot of digging, and if nobody really remembers who James Gunn was, he used to work with fucking Troma, when Tromeo and Juliet, and then I don't know if you are familiar with Troma.
No,
Troma is a notoriously awful, like, they're in the sense of, like, they're real grindhouse films in today's modern era.
Okay.
Real grindhouse. Like, I'm trying to remember. There is like a very famous one about zombie fried chicken.
Oh, because the one I keep hearing about is I think Ellen Page and the what's his name, something Wilson from The Office,
right?
Who played Dwight. Apparently, there's a scene that James Gunn directed between those two, and they're like, and it's getting the rounds.
I haven't seen it or heard anything about that, but like James Gunn used to be what they refer to as a provocateur.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you could even kind of point the finger. Really fucking awful tweets.
A lot of really fucking awful tweets.
Which, okay, you said it for the sake of comedy. It wasn't funny.
It's not. They weren't jokes.
Yeah,
there wasn't a setup and a punchline.
It's like, haha, I fuck kids. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like the haha is not a setup.
Right.
Yeah, it's more of a declarative statement, which is concerning. And the list just kept going.
Yeah,
like there were a lot.
Because of course my immediate reaction to seeing that is, oh, outrage culture, sure. Let's see, like, and then you scroll and it gets worse and worse, and then the rape joke happens, and you're like,
yeah, and it's
woo!
And it's like, yeah, we definitely tend to say way more fucked up shit in private for sure.
Yeah,
not on Twitter to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've toned down a whole lot.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's another thing. This is why I think this whole story is stupid. I think James Gunn 100% deserved to be fired. 100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that?
Because he's an idiot. Because if he came out and apologized before, delete those fucking tweets.
Oh, okay. So you're saying because he already knew about it.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
This is, again, from the perspective of, like, why would you say that?
Right, but, like,
you're dumb, delete the tweets.
I understand, but the other thing you got to think about, too, is, like, this was such a sudden thing, right? Like, I understand why it happened, but to just completely cut someone off and not even have like an indication that there was like a meeting on it, or like it was just strictly like it happened and that was it.
No, I think, and again, that is Disney going, oh no,
and hitting the
oh no, not even if it's not even true, even if the tweets were fake, it's like, okay, we need to do something now. But even still, like, yeah, you are in this position now. Yes, you very well could have changed. Yeah. 10 years? It's a long time. No, it's not 10 years because it was 2012. So it's not 10 years. And
well, it's close to a decade. It's about 8 years ago.
Close to a decade. Yeah. And, like, people change all the time. They change throughout their entire lives. But James Gunn, it was like in his 40s he was still acting like this. Like, come on, guy. I'd like to think at that point like, you'd have the wherewithal to be like, all right, maybe I'd pump the brakes a little.
Yeah.
Not being middle school shock humor like.
I don't think he was that bad lately. I think back in 2014 he certainly cleaned up his act.
No, I definitely think that he did turn a new leaf. Mm-hmm. But I also think, like, again, if you turned a new leaf and you apologized for everything, you should have deleted it all. If you didn't delete it all...
Right, but there's still ways to fucking get it.
There's still ways to do it.
Like, there's still ways you can go in the Wayback Machine.
You can, but if he had already made the conscious effort to clear everything, it's like, no, that shit wasn't right. I'm getting rid of all of it. I'm apologizing. I'm a new person now.
So, okay, you say that, but I've always been told it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. You know what I'm talking about? It's not the fact that you perpetrated the crime. It's the fact that you lied about you did it. So it's almost always better to, like you said earlier, admit on the face of it that you had a problem and just realize that it's not you. But here's the issue that I had, the point of contention for me, is that people don't seem to realize that a lot can change in a person's personality within a year's time, let alone 6 to 7 to however long it was. And for me personally, that's why I find this to be a personal affecting thing, because I was having a conversation about it with people on Discord. And even like I told you, I think in the last podcast, someone came up to me and would say that I would fire off the N-word like a fucking racist shotgun or whatever the fuck, because that offensive, provocateur humor, the idea of it back in 2010, back in 2011, was if you just say the most fucked up shit, it'll get clicks.
Yeah.
And that's not a good frame of mind to put yourself in, because it eliminates the responsibility of being able to formulate a joke. That being said, I also still think that humor is so incredibly subjective that everything and anything is open for the taking.
And I do agree with that.
Even something as vile as rape can be joked about, because the idea of it is that a lot of people use comedy as a way to heal.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism to the point where like laughter helps a lot of shit.
Right.
It's a nervous tick for some people, and I can't get yelled at. I'll laugh. I'll laugh if I get. I'll get tears and I'll laugh, which is not. It makes it look like I'm laughing really hard.
Kind of shit just coming at people.
But again, and this doesn't even come to like the tweets themselves. If this was the first time he was being confronted about this, and he like deleted everything, like that's not what I'm saying. Like the first time he apologized, if he had tried to delete everything and then like cover it up, yeah. But he's already said his piece on this. At least, what he said. I've never seen the original apology. He said his piece. He was found out. Everyone saw it. I'm sorry. I'm going to delete all of this stuff. You all have seen it. Now when people pull it up, if they were to try and approach him with this, it's like, yes, but I've already apologized for this. I've already cleared it all from my account. We've been through this already. I'm a different, changed person now.
Right.
Whereas by leaving it, it's almost like, well, you apologize. Why'd you even leave it up? If you've already addressed it, you addressed that you said it, why would you even leave that possibility open? Because now it's not even a cover-up. It's like, I'm removing this because it's distasteful.
Right.
And I know it's distasteful, and I'm sorry.
Right, and I agree with that, but the fact of the matter is like, I guess if you didn't make the statement first, and the way that these things pan out and how people handle publicity and shit like that, almost more often than not, the panic option is call my lawyer up immediately and figure out what the fuck the first statement I make is. And that takes time. For people who actually give a shit and have a publicist and are trying desperately to save their fucking image, or they deal with that kind of shit on a daily basis where they say like something like a Fousey tube, I'm sure has no publicist. I'm sure Logan Paul just recently hired a publicist, which explains a lot of his like.
Momo clearly doesn't have one.
Nope. Yeah, like these.
We
a
don't
lot
have
of
publicists.
Well, but like I still say that right now we're definitely off the rails, but we're not as off
the rails.
Yeah,
now.
like. And I for sure I'm gonna just come out and say it like right here. I guess as my personal like, I'm never gonna stop having that kind of connection with offensive humor if it works. That being said, I understand that other people it doesn't work for them, and I wholeheartedly implore you to go elsewhere because that is absolutely within your right, and I cannot be mad at you for feeling that way.
Yeah.
Because
and that comes to anything.
It's like life experiences. If you disagree with me, go ahead. But I'm not going to change because I understand why you think it's problematic. I think it's far more problematic that we're in a situation where someone can get fired for something that was said years ago.
Yeah.
That person was a different person because of the fact that even though a lot of this is really happening because of the Me Too movement, what we're seeing is not many people denying it, right? We're not seeing a lot of people denying their shitty behavior. They're embracing it because a lot of people were really shitty.
Yeah.
And for me personally, it was just I made a lot of bad jokes. Yeah. I made a lot of really shitty jokes when I was younger during the Swagalagan days, and some of them hit, some of them did not. Mainly the audio podcast. The video podcast, I feel like we were always a bit more, not necessarily PG, but definitely a lot more friendly than the audio podcast, where it was us grasping for straws, trying to find something and just, haha, that was funny. Let's hit on that. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I think with like a environment like this, where it's like we're just far more comfortable with ourselves. We're far more able to kind of have a conversation and to present that. But that doesn't happen unless you fucking throw yourself out there. You have to fail to get to a point where you're not doing it anymore. Mm-hmm. And you have to understand someone has to bring up to you that you're doing a bad thing to be better.
Yeah.
And you have to make the conscious effort to be better.
Yeah, which I think we've both, I can definitely speak for myself a whole lot better because I am myself. But right. I think we both made really good strides towards being better for sure. Mm-hmm. It's
very spooky to me that we live in a society that is essentially super cool with just the concept of, I don't agree with you, and therefore I'm going to do everything in my power to dehumanize you on a level that is completely unfounded. Yeah. And it's weird for me too, because when people ask me what do you identify as politically, I always say I'm a liberal left. I am all about it. Like, identity politics for a lot of people is a really large point of contention. I don't see it as identity politics. I see it as people just trying to live, and identity is a super important thing. For me personally, I see why people are like, it muddies up politics, it muddies up the thing, but for me, it's just like, I don't give a shit if people think that they're like 300 different genders. They're not hurting me. They're not hurting anyone. It's when that person turns around and becomes an abusive, soul-bonding piece of shit that I have a problem with it. But if it's someone who's just like...
If you soul bond with Griffith, there's a problem.
You're a fucking asshole. Like, like, it's straight up, like... And it's like, I lean towards that way, but I'm also the kind of person where I want to have a conversation with someone who I feel is so far beyond, like, a lot of people would say they're far gone. Like, people who bring up the term SJW consistently. And it's like, that you could throw that out. And we've done it before, too.
100%.
100%. When we talked about the Overwatch shit with Hammond, that's a good point of, like, I understand that people try to, that their politics exist on every level in every medium. You can't run away from it. There is no such thing as being truly apolitical. There just isn't, because every single thing you do has a reason behind it, and a lot of it comes from your ideas the governance of your ideas, which is what politics is. It's a governance of ideas over people in power. So it's important, but at the same time, we have to talk about it, because if we don't, we get into these situations where a 250 or however many characters we can do now is enough to drive everyone's view of that person, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the thing is
granted,
that
it was a couple more characters than 250.
Yeah, it was a couple more tweets.
And again, a huge part of it is like Disney is they are family friendly, clean, squeaky clean.
Right, but did you see the fucking the post to mirror that, where it was like, Disney is a super family-oriented programming place, and we'd never do that. But then they immediately cut to Donald Duck as Hitler, fucking the cats, the Siamese cats with the chopsticks and Aristocats, like all the really vaguely racist shit. The fucking crows, the actual Jim Crows from fucking Dumbo, like
that was
exactly
70 years
right.
ago.
That was almost 10 years ago. On an individual basis. That was a team of people who made a concerted effort.
It's a combination of a lot of different factors, and a good part of it is just the time we live in right now, where it's like, if they didn't fire them, then the outrage from a group of people would have been immense.
Right.
And I imagine it would be bigger than the outrage of people who are now saying James Gunn shouldn't be fired.
Right. But
so it's that was the balancing act that they played in order to save face.
And unfortunately,
it
was the smart decision to make. My problem with it is that it doesn't prove anything.
No.
So because essentially what those people did is they got upset that he had this thing to say about Roseanne Barr losing her job over this.
Yeah.
And they did the very same thing to him.
At the end of the day, digging back through 10 years of stuff just to ruin someone's career over a tweet that you don't agree with, and the tweet that he made is totally, one, it's justified, and two, he speaks from experience.
Right.
So like, I don't know. It's a whole can of worms. I think James Gunn did fantastic work on Guardians of the Galaxy. They are my favorite Marvel movies. I don't think it'll be the same without him, especially with how deep into that story he goes. I'm happy he found an outlet like that where now he can make this stuff. I hope he lands on his feet and he keeps going. I still hold the idea that it's dumb that he didn't delete the tweets. But I also think it's more shitty that some people are even going back that far, and that, I don't know. It's nebulous. There's so many different...
Right. But like my thing is like, sure, I agree. At the end of the day, I understand.
Yeah.
The idea that someone can start a culture war like that fucking easy and nobody like...
No, that's the most concerning part for
Case in point. Something as simple as like, okay, have you been seeing that? You haven't been on Facebook lately. I don't know.
No, I have not. I avoid Facebook like
so. I have a couple of mutual friends that I've known for years that they shared a post about Courage the Cowardly Dog coming back.
Yeah.
They showed like I think it was fan art, and essentially the original one said 2/30/19. The original date. It was like, Cartoon Network's bringing it back, which doesn't exist. That date doesn't exist at all, which was the first. But then someone changed it to be 2/28. Which I don't know if it exists next year or not. But the guy just shared it and was like, I can't believe they're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Didn't even think. The first thing was like, Google it, see if it's real. Almost always the first page will show you what it says.
Yeah.
And I was straight up just like, y'all dumb head-ass fake news type people need to go out and do some research. Because y'all are constantly sharing shit and muddying up the narrative and making it so like everyone takes everything super face value.
Yeah.
Because we're all too busy working. We work to live. And it's, not...
It's tiring.
It's tiring as fuck. I understand it,
It's
but
like
at the same time, you have to take a responsibility. You have to, at some point, yes, you can have your escapism, but you need to be responsible and understand that when you see something, it has context.
Yeah.
There's a reason someone said that. And if the context is the guy's a shitty person, then that's your context. But you get that from the narrative. Like, you get that from interpolating all the information that is present at the time and then going back and doing the bare minimum of research that everyone refuses to do.
Yeah. Well, the even smaller scale version of that is the fact that I'm still asked, like I go through comment threads and it's like, is this character in this game yet? And you start to see the same people on every post. When are you adding this? When are you adding this? Why haven't you added this? And just do a quick Google search and they're already in.
Right.
But no. The amount of time you take every day, every week to write that same comment out, you could just research it, get a little information, and learn that, yeah, Siegfried's in Soul Calibur. You got to announce 4 months back.
Or just say big if true. Big if true is like the easiest fucking, like, you can share something and immediately that already establishes, like, I'm not going to do the work, but I'm also not going to fucking eat it wholesale, which I think is far better than just having a, like, massive rant about it. Then I got kind of triggered when I shared like this dude who did like a whole segment on people being against gender diversity in comic books, and someone said it was a really bad take, and I was like, I don't know. But then when you watch the video again, it's like a lot of it is very surface level because it's for a fucking Comedy Central show.
Yeah,
and it's like it's hard. It's hard to kind of talk about these really incredibly nuanced fucking things and why they're important to talk about within the span of 7 minutes and just bringing people on for a laugh. And that's the problem.
Yeah, and it's also a lot. The context is a lot harder to find now, especially because of how easy it is to fabricate everything. And this isn't Max putting on his tinfoil hat. Well, it kind of is, but like. It's getting really hard to tell what's real and what's meant to be a joke and what's not meant to be a joke. What is a real tweet? What isn't a real tweet? And, like, you combine that with, like... Because, again, you can easily look it up and you're like, oh, that shit's fake. But if you combine the surface level stuff, the value that everybody takes stuff at, with how easy it is to make something look really convincing, it's bad. It's very bad.
It's very bad.
Yeah,
I guess there's I'm sure there's other shit to talk about, but like that, I think we're not going to reach Basilicom. Jessica Negri fueled Basilicons and gun tanks. I don't think we're ever going to top that. So I say we should call it a night. What do you think?
Yeah, I even mentioned that like viewers are just gonna start soul bonding to their Basilicom presidents. So like, yeah, I don't. That's actually such a well fleshed out idea that hey, somebody write that book.
Yeah.
Hipsters on Purpose presents a new YouTube Red series.
Soul bonder.
Fuck, I know people. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know a camera. I know a microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for joining us for another episode of Not Another Podcast.
The next one will come out. Oh fuck no.
No, it won't because I won't be here. So.
All right.
We do it. We were probably gonna do it like the day before.
No, we won't. Because the day before is Thursday, and that's August 9th.
Oh, no, we can do August 9th. August 9th is fine.
August 9th is Sunset Showdown.
Right, August 10th, I meant. We can do August 10th. I got confused.
Oh, Friday?
The 15th is when I'm gone.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, so yeah, never mind then.
Yeah,
look forward to more Breath of the Wild. Resident Evil 6 will come back soon. Maybe Tales of Berseria.
Detroit is happening.
Detroit is happening,
yeah, you can confirm. Lyle has effectively shown me the way. Hopefully, it's a fun video.
Yeah.
If you guys don't like it, please let us know why, and we'll just change.
And I might do a little bit more of an in-depth kind of look into the Switch and all that.
The Switch is pretty cool.
Because a lot of people I see talk about the Switch like kind of avoid a lot of the major problems I think it has. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more negative and upsetting.
Ooh, get 'em.
But a lot more honest, I feel.
All right, guys, it's late. Go take a nap.
Go follow us on YouTube. Follow us here.
All right, you go first.
Follow us on Twitter.
Now take a nap.
Now take a nap.